everybody. So today I wanted to talk about depression. Depression is the most common mental health issue, if you will. Millions of people are dealing with depression. I'm going to take it one step further and say that probably most people deal with depression at some point in their life. There's a couple of there's actually more than a couple. There are a few different types of depression according to like our diagnostic criteria. And I'm not going to bore you with all of that, but I do want to kind of touch on them a little bit. So major depressive disorder is probably the most common one that you may or may not have heard about, but major depressive disorder impacts a lot of people. Some people experience depressive episodes more than once, kind of occasionally. Maybe it's triggered by an event, maybe it's triggered by hormones, but it reoccurs, the depression. Some people experience one depressive episode and they get well and they can kind of go on and never get that depressed again. There is a dysthymia, which is more of a gloomy, sad mood and demeanor. So you're not really depressed, but you do feel sad, and it's more just kind of there and lingering at times. You may be wanting to know what causes depression, and I don't really know. It depends. Situations can certainly cause depression. Things like a death in the family, hormones, women who are pregnant, women who give birth, hormonal imbalances can cause depression. Medical conditions can cause depression. Life changes can cause depression, whether it's a move, a divorce, job changes, loss of a job. Those things can certainly cause depression. For others, bad things that have happened in life, whether it's traumatic experiences, bullying in school, things like that can also trigger depressive episodes. But for other people, it could be biological. It could be that there's a family history of depression and you're just more prone to having depressive feelings. So I've kind of talked about the different types of depression, what causes depression, but what does depression look like? That is a very important thing we should talk about quickly. So depression is very sad. I know you've been sad before, because every single human on the face of this earth has faced something really sad. Those things that I talked about a few minutes ago, those certainly are going to make you feel sad. Depression is a deep, deep sadness. There's a commercial a few years ago for I think it was Latuda. It was a antidepressant medication. I remember it because I thought it was so symbolic of depression. It had a cartoon of a person and this rain cloud was hovering over this person. So although everything was sunny around them and people were happy around the individual, they still felt gloomy, and this rain cloud hovers and it doesn't go away despite your efforts to do something. So you may go out with friends, but you still feel not good enough. You still have negative thoughts. You still feel kind of icky. You still feel sad. Depression doesn't mean that you're sitting around crying all the time, or even saying negative things all the time. Rather, it means you just feel you feel heavy. Your mind may race full of negative thoughts and thinking that is very that something bad is going to happen. You may you're not going to want to do anything. Your motivation is completely zapped. So it takes all of your effort and energy to get out of bed in the morning. It takes all of your effort and energy to make breakfast and go through your day, and it is the last thing you want to do, because all you want to do is crawl in bed and stay there. Yet when you get there, you're not happy, you aren't comfortable there, you don't like the way that you feel. You feel like you want to sleep all the time, but yet you don't sleep well. You may have trouble sleeping, and your body doesn't have any energy. You feel very heavy, and again, no motivation to do anything. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you are a loser or that you're helpless and hopeless. Certainly, those are things that you feel and think when you are depressed, but that's not the truth of it. It is that there is a chemical imbalance in your brain, and it means that bad things have happened to you. You've been through a lot of changes in your life, and you're having a really hard time coming up with positive thoughts, and the chemicals in your brain are causing you to just feel ugh. And that's not a very clinical term, I know that, but that's what it feels like for people. They just can't find the energy or the motivation. They want to, but they don't see how. Depression makes you feel like you're in this deep, dark black hole, and it is impossible to see the way out. So the best way to get help for depression is to talk to a therapist or a counselor. In fact, medicine, and I'm not one to really promote or push meds, but research shows that medication in coordination and collaboration with therapy is the best way to treat depression, and it can be treated. It can be minimized. You can learn how to challenge thinking. You can learn how to notice sort of the signs of your depression and how to deal with it, and find ways to push through it and feel happy again. You don't have to live in this deep, dark black hole, and when you're in it, you don't see the way out. So it's really helpful to have somebody else on the other end of that deep, dark black hole saying, you can get through this, and I'm going to help you get through this. So my wellness tip for dealing with depression is to surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Now, if you are depressed, you're going to be saying, I do that and I still feel icky. Yes, because again, it zaps your motivation and it zaps your energy. So although you have this really good stuff around you, you just are having a hard time seeing the good in life. But my wellness tip is to surround yourself with positive people and positive things, because the more you have that in your life, the more it's going to help you build evidence to challenge negative thinking, the more it's going to help you realize your blessings and the good in your life. Join a church group, and I only say that because church groups are great, but it's free. A lot of times groups and support groups may cost money, and I realize that not everybody has money to go join some kind of a group. So church is always free for people, and there's no application process for church. But find a community program, is there a sport? Is there a class? Community colleges are really great for offering types of courses on how to do different things, planting, cooking, join a book club. These are things that are going to help you have some sort of motivation to get out of bed and interact with people that are going to help kind of pull you out of that deep, dark, black hole. I realize there's a lot more depression and treating depression than what I explained here today. This is just sort of an overview of depression. I wanted to touch on it because I hear a lot of people say, well, just get over it. Just get up and go on and do your day. But with depression, that's really hard to do. You almost cannot do that. And I want you to know that it's okay if you feel that way. A lot of people feel depressed, and depression is a really icky feeling disorder, but you can get help, and it can be cured, and you can feel better. So feel free to ask any questions, comment below, or you can email me. I'm going to include that email right here for you. Don't forget to subscribe. There's new videos every week. Next week, I'm going to be interviewing a colleague of mine. She is a couples counselor, and we're going to be talking about couples and why couples have conflict, and what her advice would be for couples to help in a relationship. So take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.